Nagoya is often the hottest basho of the year. Currently the temperature is well over 30 degrees. And now to the first of our bouts. On this first day of the basho, it's between Jumonji, known as Mon in the sumo world, and he's fighting Akinoshima. These two have fought each other 4 times previously. Akinoshima won 3 of those 4. Certainly the more experienced of the two, but he's on a bit of a downward slope. Did very badly in his last basho. Akinoshima, they're trying for the kubinagi. That's the grip round the neck and a flip over his body, but Jumonji just stayed in close, kept on balance, and nudged him over the edge of the circle. And that's how the wrestlers gain their wins. They either knock them down inside or outside the ring, or push them outside the ring. So first win there to Jumonji over Akinoshima. Tokitsuumi, 132 kilos, bit on the light side, fights Tochisakae, 157 kilos. Tochisakae got the advantage of weight there. There's a little bit of a slippery surface there we mentioned earlier, the Nagoya dohyo. Tokitsuumi's feet skidded away from him there, and Tochisakae got his first win with hikiotoshi, pull drop throw. Next out, Wakanoyama, 30-year-old wrestler. Been around since first came into sumo in 1988. Fights Daizen, who came into sumo in 1983. So 2 veterans fighting here. Daizen, 37 years old, the oldest rikishi in this top division. He gets hustled out there with oshidashi by Wakanoyama. Wakanoyama squats, makes the winner's gesture with his right hand to the side. No prize money for him there, though. And already the other wrestlers coming up into the ring, where in the corner they go through a series of rituals, chuck the salt in, wipe themselves, wash their mouth out, etc., etc. The rituals take 4 minutes. So here Otsukasa fights Shimotori. They fought twice before. Shimotori's won 2 of those, or all of them. Shimotori 147 kilos, Otsukasa 149, so both wrestlers very evenly weighted. Just a little bit short of the average weight of these top wrestlers, which is around the 152 kilo mark. That's 330 pounds in English weight, or 23.5 stone. So Shimotori there gets Otsukasa on the run as he tried to change his grip and forced him out with yorikiri. So there's some Kensho money, which he receives in a little envelope. Next out, Mongolian wrestler Kyokutenho. He's had a series of bad bashos. He's had 3 Makikoshi bashos. That's more losses than wins. Here fighting Takanonami. They fought 8 times before. Takanonami's won 5 of those 8. Takanonami had a pretty poor basho last time round. He only got 4 wins. Well, Kyokutenho, he's quite tall. Takanonami's very tall, 1.97 meters. Kyokutenho just a little bit short of that, but Takanonami used that little extra height to lift Kyokutenho up and over the edge. So yorikiri win there for Takanonami. Interesting bout coming up here. Toki, rough, crude fighter, on against Kotomitsuki. Kotomitsuki sat out the last basho because of a broken jaw. He's got a steel bolt in his jaw, and the sumo people have put him on with the man who's most likely to slap that jaw. So that's the way they do it in Japan. This is the ultimate injury test for Kotomitsuki. Look, you can see Toki's hands there on Kotomitsuki's jaw, and he seems to be all right. Well, Kotomitsuki won that one, even though he crashed to the ground at the end there. Toki stepped out first, so his jaw looks okay, despite the rough handling he got from Toki during that bout. So oshidashi win there for Kotomitsuki, the one-time Ozeki ranked wrestler. Now Tamakasuga, who recently got married, which may improve his sumo somewhat. Certainly improved Kaiho's sumo when he got married. He's fighting Hokutoriki. This is his second basho in Makuuchi. But there he skidded away, overreached himself, thought he had Tamakasuga on the rung, stretched out, but Tamakasuga too much of a veteran to not take that chance. He just moved slightly out of range, and Hokutoriki dropped down. So win there for Tamakasuga with hikiotoshi. Now Aminishiki, lightweight wrestler, only 125 kilos, also fighting another lightweight wrestler. Both of these men come from fishing families. Both, in fact, come from the same port in Japan, fishing port. And they're both lightweight wrestlers. Aminishiki at 125 kilos, Kaiho at 122. In previous encounters, Kaiho's won them all. So Aminishiki there, hanging on the edge, just about surviving, tries Uchari there. But it looked like Kaiho got that one, although he landed on his elbow. He's hurt himself in that fall. So Aminishiki got driven to the edge. And right on the edge, he tried to lift Kaiho up and spin round, but it was Aminishiki's body that touched down first, but Kaiho injured himself, so it's not looking too good there. Well, we'll find out tomorrow whether he continues or not, and he gets some prize money for his efforts there. That's Asashoryu, the Mongolian, the new star of sumo, getting ready and coming down that Hanamichi, the flower path, towards the sacred ring, the dohyo. This next bout we have Miyabiyama against Takanowaka. Miyabiyama, 176 kilos, Takanowaka some 30 kilos lighter. Miyabiyama eats a lot of garlic for power, he says. No doubt adds to his fighting skills in these close encounters. Well, they're both wrestlers looking for the belt. Each has got one hand on there. Miyabiyama tries to turn Takanowaka around, but Takanowaka recovers from that. Fronts up again onto Miyabiyama. Well, it's looking very close. It looked like Miyabiyama had the opening advantage, but there, Takanowaka tries a leg hook, a sodogake, but Miyabiyama survives that one. It's a big determined lift there. Miyabiyama right on the edge, and he's nudged over and dumped down outside. So a heavy drop there for Miyabiyama from the height of the dohyo down to the outside lower level of the area. Although it's padded, it's still a heavy drop. That's 176 kilos hitting the ground from that throw. So yoritaoshi win there for Takanowaka. Dejima had a good basho last time. It was the first time, in fact, he got more wins than losses in his last 7 bashos, and that was last time. Well, let's see how he does this time out here against powerhouse Wakanosato. Dejima just drives out. Explosive charge from the tachiai, the crouch down, and straight into Wakanosato's chest. Let's watch that. He just gets knocked back. Wakanosato exactly the same weight as Dejima, but it's Dejima who gets him on the run and drives him out. Oshidashi win there by Dejima, and looking a little bit back to his old form. Let's hope he can keep going as well as he did last basho. Now Asashoryu coming up into the ring. He's fighting a fellow Mongolian, Kyokushuzan. These two have fought 4 times, and Asashoryu's won all 4. Well, once upon a time, it was Kyokushuzan who was the senpai, which is to say the senior of the Mongolian wrestlers. He was the one they all looked up to. Now the roles have changed a bit. It's Asashoryu on the left there, who's going for his Ozeki promotion. And less media attention for Kyokushuzan in the red mawashi. Well, Asashoryu disposes of him there pretty easily. He's only 134 kilos, which is a little bit light. Certainly not near the weights of Kaiho and Aminishiki, but could do with a bit more weight, but he seems to be filling out a bit. And so that was first win there for Asashoryu. Well, Kyokushuzan's a wrestler with a lot of different techniques under his belt. The basho before last, he won 8 bouts in a row, each one with a different technique, but didn't look too perky in that bout. Now moving up the ranks, Tochiazuma, 152 kilos, he's put on a bit of weight, fighting Robocop, as he's known in Japan, Takumi Sakari. Takumi Sakari's got these peculiar movements. He's got a bad knee, but his movements generally are a little bit different. He's a great favourite of the crowd over here. They love this man. Gets big cheers every time he comes out for sumo. But there, the skill and the experience of Tochiazuma overwhelmed him with a straight yorikiri win for Tochiazuma. Well, that's the Japanese team football coach there watching, or manager I should say. Now we have Kotonowaka, 175 kilos, big man, tall man. This is his 70th Makuuchi Basho here, fighting Chiyotakai. They fought 9 times. Chiyotakai's won 7 of those head-to-heads. Chiyotakai just powers out. Well, not much mucking about there. From the Shikiri crouch down straight into the Tachiai, then into the Atari, the slam, and Kotonowaka just bounced back off that. So it was a one-way track out for Kotonowaka from that fast Tachiai of Chiyotakai's. Kaiho, well, he injured himself during a sumo tournament, not one of the main bashos, but one of the smaller tournaments not long ago. He was fighting Akinoshima, and his shoulder injury looks a bit bad. Well, he's competing here, but let's see how he gets on. He's not fair, it's bad, it's a bad shoulder injury. He couldn't really do very much there, and you can see it's powerful. So first loss for Kaiho. Tochinonada beats him. 6th time he's managed to beat Kaiho, although Kaiho has beaten him 13 times in the past. So I would predict that Kaiho will be not lasting very long in this basho. Now the Yobidashi, the announcer, although they do other things apart from announce the bouts, calls out the grand champion Musashi Maru in the bluish mawashi there. He's fighting Tosanuumi. They fought each other 31 times. Musashi Maru's won 26 of them. Well, this is a man who's the favourite to take this basho. He won the last 2 bashos. Good style, 13 wins and 2 losses each one. And perhaps he can increase his own personal best. He's never won 3 basho in a row before. He's won 11 bashos altogether, but never more than 2 in a row. So let's see if the big man, 231 kilos of him, can win this basho as well. Well, slightly messy arm work there. He came straight out, didn't get his hands on the belt very quickly. Tosanuumi was trying to block them off, but all the time he was moving forward, and that's part of the game. You can do what you like with your hands, but unless you start pushing them out backwards, it's not very effective. And there you see, driving forward, loses that grip with his right hand on the belt, but nevertheless lifts him up under the armpit. So, good starts for the Yokozuna, and at the end of this first day of the basho, as we've just seen, Musashi Maru gets a win, Chiyotakai a win, Tochiazuma a win, Asashoryu a win, but Ozeki Kaiho loses, as does Komusubi, Miyabiyama, Tosanuumi and Wakanosato. Stay with us, we'll be back very shortly.